So he goes to his girlfriend at the time. She blindfolds him, drives him around, takes him to the spot, and we're at the location, obviously. And he gets there and we're like, surprise! And he's like, oh, wow, what the hell? And my other mate, like, my other mate's like, she's not really pregnant. And like, he's still shocked. Like, he's still trying to take in the fact that it's a surprise party, all his family's there. And he's just like, yeah, it was all right. And he was so shocked. It's like the surprise party was out of his mind. He's like, but
I told you, dude.
He's like, wait, what do you mean? But everything we spoke about. And he's like, no, it was all right. It was all right. It is Morokai with two eyes. We're back on every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 7 a.m. on Spotify and 4:30 p.m. on YouTube. Man, there was a story came out that at a Pokemon shop, they got this guy come in and he had rares, ultra, every type of expensive Pokemon card. They valued it to like anywhere from 250,000 to $1 million. Like you know how you have range.
It's a big jump.
But well, the thing was that they valued it as $1 million, but then you got your Pokemon geeks that went like, no, in reality, that's like 250,000.
Ah, okay, right.
Party poopers, no.
They're the worst off the people. They really are. Hey, that seriously reminds me so much of those people that go on that pawn shop show. Yeah. It's like, I've got this like World War II gun, and they're like, I think it's worth this much. And it's just like, look, I don't really know a lot about this, but I'm going to get someone in that does, and they're like, yeah, it's worth $200. And the person's like, yes, I want 200,000. Like, you just said it's worth 200.
$200.
Yeah, well, I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like, you see it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
You went backward.
The people are just like,
$200. I want 200,000. Wow. That is a bit of a jump.
All the people, it's just like, I'm not selling for any less. It's like, the person to come out and inspect this item has said it's only worth this much. Like, where do you get off? Where do you think you're going to get this extra money from?
Oh, when they do that on Pawn Shop and he's just like, I'm going to have a friend come check it out. I'm like, how many friends do you have in there?
He has a ton of friends, man. He doesn't actually know anything.
Yeah, I don't
doesn't
think
know
he knows
anything.
them. Yeah.
He just sends them off. It's the same as the people that's like, they've got a tank. It's like, oh, we'll send it to a friend. And then they're like, you want to go shoot? It's like, yeah, of course I want to go shoot. And then they're just like, yes, I'm not going to buy this. And it's just like, you went to all that effort to be like, yeah, nah.
But there was, so anyway, this Pokemon shop, or just this card collectible shop, sorry, saw all this and like, this is suspicious as. So they actually contacted like Pokemon, I guess the company itself, and said, what the fuck is going on here? Turns out it was someone on the front line he was picking all the rare cards before they were getting put in packs.
No way.
So he's on the distribution line and he's just pocketing Pokemon cards non-stop.
What a G.
Best of the best.
What an absolute G.
And instead of being smart about a few eBay listings here and there, he went full on, here's the bulk, I need it now. So bro, imagine like the rarest card and you're like, fuck, it's to get this card, I don't even see YouTubers pack it. And this guy comes in with like a full-on stack of them.
He'd be like, oh, no, what's going on here?
So, right, yeah.
That's so sad. I can't believe he's done that.
Yeah, it does. But I've thought about that too before. Like in any type of industry where there's a distribution line of rare cards or something that's rare.
Just something rare, yeah.
And, you got someone working for minimum wage or that line. I've always wondered, like, bro, are they...
Surely you'd have to be
people
tempted.
That are pocketing them. Yeah.
Well and truly. You would, though.
Yeah, you would.
You definitely would. Seriously, that's blowing my mind that they've actually done that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Mate, wouldn't you be pissed? Because so many people are opening their cards and they're not getting any super rares.
Mate.
Yeah, because fucking old mate has been taking them out of it.
Yeah, he's got... Sorry, guys, there's none now. I've got them all.
Our Pokemon YouTuber mate, Joel, he would have been like buying all these boxes and pulling nothing. And it's because of this bloke.
His streams are just going down. No, I don't get it, guys. I'm getting nothing in my bags. This is ridiculous. Oh, yeah. You would, though. I mean, I definitely would.
Steal?
If it's something super rare and valuable, like, I don't think...
That's a big statement to make on the pod, mate.
I don't think but I wouldn't be selling them, like, all at once.
I don't think I need to show you around my like grandparents' antiques. When that
I wouldn't know how much value it is.
It's shiny. I want it.
Like on those antique road shows, when I see the price of some of the stuff that's on there, I'm like, There's no way that fork's worth that much.
I remember one lady fainted by that. Like he's just like, this antique spoon, it is actually from the 17th century. Oh, you're kidding me. And it is worth £60,000. Oh, like, that's just, mate, there is nothing about that show that gets me excited. They are showing
the antiques just aren't. It's really not that great.
Yeah, not
like nothing that ever interests me. Like whereas like American Pickers, see that's something that I could happily sit back and watch. I did like
American Pickers.
I really liked when they picked up the neon signs. Like the classic old, like just old signs. I don't know why.
I don't know why. Just those two. Like that little fat bloke just made me laugh when he was walking around like garages and stuff. I don't know.
And then the tall guy always just knew everything about motorbikes. He's like, that's a wild Indian racer, 20,000.
Yeah.
I had one of those. It's like, where's all this info? Like, how do you just have this information on the spot?
But it's
But then there'd always be like the wife out. It's just like, just sell it, honey. He's like, I don't know if I want to sell it. It's just like, the reason why you're on this show is to sell. I don't understand.
I know for a fact there's some people out there that would have invited them out knowing they're not going to sell, but they want people to admire their collection. Because unless they have friends coming through, how on earth are people going to see everything they own?
Fair. That is very fair.
So I've
never ever looked at it like that.
It's like you want to show off all your items, but you've put them in a house where it's like private property. So how can you do that?
True.
Yeah, I couldn't live with like a.
Not with how much those people hoard.
Yeah,
like that's like over I don't even
care if it's neat hoarding. I couldn't do it. That's too much crap.
There's so much stuff everywhere.
Yeah, you can't.
You just get lost in it as well.
You would.
You're just like, oh man, I bought this at the shop. I don't know. I'll just leave it there then, I guess.
You couldn't have friends over if you had.
No way. I feel like I'd be so embarrassed.
No, Julian, you can't go in there. Why? I can't go in there. You said it was a bathroom. No, bathroom to the right. What's this door? Don't open it. It's Dad's antique spoon collections.
Don't touch any of the spoons.
They're all on the wall. I know. That's why I said don't enter them. Why, mate? That's just a regular spoon. I know they're regular spoons. Let him believe it.
Those ones as well, how like they just have a pathway to the bathroom in their room because everything else is cluttered. It's like we couldn't actually be sitting here. I couldn't visually be looking at you because you would have like just stuff all here. Like how people live like that to me is crazy.
The ones I see online where they're like gamers and they have nothing but Uber Eats and it's like packed right there. You can't even walk. There's that much rubbish. There's no way you could bring a girl home. No way.
Not a chance.
There's no way.
But how do you not? At what stages do you go like, oh, this is actually pretty disgusting?
That's what goes through my head. How does that not click?
Like so, and because like my head, like I suppose maybe it's thanks to my mum, but even just having crumbs in my bedroom, I'm like, oh, I'm worried about like a mouse. Or something like that. Like I don't want that in my room.
Yep.
So like you vacuum, you clean. So in my head, I'm like, how do you just sit there and let dirty dishes pile? And like just the smell.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
As well. Like maybe if you haven't finished like a whole pizza or like a roll, and it's just like that's actually makes me feel a bit sick. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, some of those ones are real bad. Hoarders can get insane. I remember watching some of the. I loved watching it, but the problem was they spent. Like the episodes would be 45 minutes long, and they spent way too much time focusing on people like focusing on pointless crap because they had to make sure the show was a good length.
Yes,
but I just wanted to see the mess, the amount of mess, and the reaction to them losing it. I didn't need all this backstory about why they're a hoarder.
Mary can't leave her room to go to the toilet
because the hoarders' backstories were usually really sad and upsetting.
Most of the time was like their husband or like their partners passed away.
Yeah.
And all that. I just got bored and I picked up one spoon and now I've got 30,000 spoons. But I still want more spoons. And they're like trying to clean it. I was like, no, don't take the spoons.
When they talk about, because they would go through, and do you know what I love? It shows to like how people are such little sensitive bitches. It was the people who were like, the psychologist or whoever came through and they're like, we need to make this a gentle process, which I'm like, I can understand. Okay, no problem. But they would come through and they would show like a half broken plate with some food on it. And they'd be like, now, Cheryl, hey, Cheryl, look over here. Is it okay? And I know it might be a big deal. Is it okay if I throw this plate out? Oh, no, I don't know about that. No, okay. Well, what I'm going to do, Cheryl, I'm going to put the plate over here, right? This in the maybe pile, okay? This is maybe pile. I swear this maybe pile in every episode piled up to the fucking roof. Yeah, they never want to. There's a reason they're hoarders.
Yeah,
they don't want to throw this shit out
with it. So that's the plate that I ate my first ice cream with.
They needed some some funny mate kind of come in, but yo, Cheryl, I'm throwing out this fucking plate.
That'll be 10 times better.
Don't fuck with me.
Someone that's assertive.
Yeah, bro, 100%. Some funny comedian coming in. That'd be way better.
Well, I've been, as of recently, Ali's been watching Mum Swap.
Mum Swap? I remember Parent Swap. I don't remember Mum Swap.
I think it was sort of like, I think maybe it is Parent Swap, but like, dude, watching back that show and you go from like, this lady just spent so much money on just unnecessary shit. Like, she would just go shopping and spend $1,000. And the daughter was like, yeah, we don't even look at the price. We just buy it. She had to go to St. Vinny's. It's like, ew, I don't want to go to a charity shop and all that. It's like, I don't like any of the clothing. And I was just like, oh, when you're in the real world, hun, you're going to find it so hard.
But you just reminded me of one of the funniest, because that...
And, the kids are like crying. Like, this one kid, it's like... Because there was like a Russian mum, and she's like, if you're not first, you're last, sort of thing. And she was like very competitive. And she's getting like this little kid to play basketball. He's like, I hate it here. I want my real mum back. I don't like you at all. And then he got a buck. He's like, that was really fun. I really enjoyed that.
There was one episode that I love, because that and I think that and Super Nanny used to play back to back. And for some reason, I fucked hard with Super Nanny. I thought that was like a great show. But there was this one Parent Swap where obviously the parents are so incredibly different. That's the point. Anyway, this mum who's like pretty fast and loose, like gives the kids junk food, doesn't mind when they come back home, like they can spend as much time with their friends as they like. And then you got one mum who has literally to a T planned out their entire year, like in a like in this book,
year.
and it's this big book, and they've got every event planned out. It is next level.
That's
so like a full-on book where it's like every family member knows what's happening in 33 days from now.
That's ridiculous. I would hate that.
And the parents swap. And when they swap, so the mum swap, and this fast loose mum like goes, oh, we're going to do this, and the kids and the dad are like, no, like we've got the calendar. We're actually going to church this day, and we're doing this and this. And the mum's like, what the fuck is this book? And obviously the point of the show is they live, I think it's like a few days.
Like their life,
they live their life before they start implementing.
Then they implement their own rules, which then they hope the family lives by.
So this woman's going schedule by schedule, just being like, this is ridiculous. Saw on the camera going, this is absolutely insane that they live their life like clockwork. When do they get time to relax and just sit back and breathe? So anyway, after that, it gets to the point where the mums stand in front of the new family and they go, okay, for the next 2 weeks,
these are my rules.
This is my rules. Anyway, so the strict mums come in and she's like, for the loose family, it's like, now I've organised like a schedule. This is a calendar. This is what we're going to abide by. This is what we're going to do for the 2 weeks. The mum on the other side is like, now, this schedule, it's ridiculous. And lights it on fire. and the dad and the kid's like, I think
don't know what I'm doing in November.
I think the dad was even reasonable. It was like, no, I get the point you're trying to make, but there is important life events that are only in this diary. And they're all standing around like, I can't believe you did that. Why would you do that? And bro, when they swapped back, I think it was like they were facing each other.
Yeah, they do at the table.
And the dad's like, he gets his wife back. He's like, I love you. And he's like, she burnt the book. And she's like, what? And she's like, no, she didn't. And she's like, yeah, she burnt the book. And then she's like, they're having their face. I'm just like, why on earth would you burn it?
That's hilarious. The one that I couldn't believe, this Russian mum, she would criticize her daughter's piano playing. She'd be like in the kitchen. Meanwhile, I'm in here like playing the piano, and she'd be like, that's bad, do it again. But she wouldn't actually sit with her daughter to watch it. And then she'd be like, all right, I've got to go off to basketball reffing now. She would make her daughter do it was like work, like school, sorry. Then homework until dinner. Once dinner was done, practice piano, and then do more homework and then bed. So this mum came in, she's like, no, you can have your mates around, you can have like a movie night and all that. Her mate's like, wow, this is only like the second time that we've ever been to your house. And I was like, that's so sad. I'm like, she's like 13 about to go into high school or maybe in high school. And she's only had her like 2 closest mates round ever like once.
Oh.
That's absolutely fucked to me.
Some parents ruin their kids' lives.
Well, that's what I'm like, wow, once your kid's 18, like they're either going to continue that way or they're going to go off the rails completely.
Yeah,
like, there's no in between.
Yeah.
I'm just like, bloody hell. Like, it's a good show, but it's an interesting show. Like, just how some people live, you're like, oh, geez, I'm pretty happy with my family as it is, actually.
Yeah, there's some.
Like, it does really,
brutal.
like, there was this one family, man, they were like just living in a shed. And the bed, I think, was a fold-out couch. And I was like, oh, dear God, no. Like, that is not how... And the guy was like your classic Aussie bogan. So he's like, oh, when the footy's on, I just watch the footy for 6 months. Don't I, darling? And I'm just like, I fucking hate you. Like, I hate you so much.
Yeah, I said, I met with someone at work the other day and they were talking about how at their previous job, this guy like treated his wife so poorly. And I'm like, oh, really? And he's like, yeah, he was just work. And she had to stay home, do all the cooking, dishes. She wasn't allowed out. And she came into work one day so excited because this guy had a couple of really good sales. So he was really in a good mood. So he decided to take her out. He just took her out for a drive.
You're shitting me.
And she came into work like, oh my God, he took me out for a drive. And then this girl's like, oh, thank God he's actually treated her. Where did he take you? Just everywhere. Oh, the restaurant? No, we stayed in the car, but we went on the freeway. It was fantastic. And like she was so conditioned to the environment that was just a big reward.
It's like, I've got to say that's somewhat savoury. At what stage is that actually like, you can't do that.
No, some people are so bad.
That's terrible.
It is.
Your enjoyment is sitting in a car. And maybe if you're lucky, you get to walk out of the car.
I can't imagine sitting just like, oh my God.
Can you imagine that? And you're like,
right turn.
It's just the husband's like, I'm going to blindfold you because I don't want you to see you can see inside the office, but you can't see the actual building. And don't you dare look out the window.
Right. This reminds me of like this. I'll do this. This is one of the classic like pranks that was just terrible. And I remember when you said blindfold, and the boys are gonna love this story. Like not one of them, but the other two are. We had a friend, and it was his birthday, and his girlfriend at the time goes, "Hey guys, I'm surprising him. We've got a hall booked. Can you take him out for the day so he's not suspicious?" And
I feel like that always makes it more suspicious, though, does it not?
Well, this was pre-planned pretty in advance.
Oh,
so it's like 2 weeks.
Then.
Like,
that's good.
Hey, bro, do you mind if we catch up in a couple of weeks? So it's kind of planned out well.
That's not bad.
And she's like, just keep him busy, keep him preoccupied, and I really need him to stay with you guys until I set all this up. And, well, no problem. And one mate goes to me, I've got an idea. How about when we go to this restaurant, so he stays for a lot longer, I'll tell him that I've accidentally got my girlfriend pregnant and I don't know what to do.
Oh, no.
Classic me. That's a great idea.
What a great brain.
So we catch up with his friend and, bro, we sit down and I think the reason for the catch-up to make it not suspicious was he made it out like, boys, I kind of need a day where we can catch up and just vent a little if that's all right. So instead of like, oi, boys, bowling, just something simple that would have made
really
sense.
Dark, deep, some serious issues.
I think the mate had to make sure. It's like, we need to make sure he's coming. And anyway, so his girlfriend's out, just organised. And keep in mind, at this surprise party, like, it's pretty much all his family and all her family. So I think we're at TGR Fridays, and we're sitting there, and we're having a good time just talking, and then one mate goes, "Hey, bro, do you want to talk about that thing you were talking about? It seemed pretty upsetting." I've never seen this mate go into acting mode more than mate, you would think he's on Bold and the Beautiful. He just went, "Oh, yeah. It's hard, man. And they're just like looking down, like real serious. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm
you're
trying
not playing into it as well.
I'm trying not to laugh. I stayed very quiet this entire time. And he goes, I've accidentally got her pregnant. And he's like, fire. He's like, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know if we're going to abort or keep it. This is pretty intense. This is a pretty intense conversation.
Very serious conversation.
Oh, so this is a deep conversation where he's full on acting and going into it. And he goes, this is the funniest part, right? This is the funniest part. The other mate opens up about his personal stuff pretty deep, which wasn't expected. So he starts getting deep as well. And I'm there like, oh no. And after he opens up and says his stuff, which is pretty full on, he gives my mate now and he goes, mate, but how about this? Let's not think about that for now. Let's like have a day out. Let's enjoy each other's time. We'll spend all day together. Just us three. Let's have a good night, which is perfect. That plays out perfectly for us. We don't have to talk about it more if you don't want to. He just pauses and he's just like looking sad at the table and he goes, no, I think it's a good time to talk about it. So I want to open up. So my mate has full on given the green light and be like, we don't have to talk. Let's just catch up. I'm booked in with you boys. I'm not going to see my girlfriend until later, which is what we would play, what we wanted. And he goes, no, I want to dive deep. So, bro, while my mate's playing Bold and the Beautiful, this is what happened next. We had him for enough time. Like we got plenty of time out of him. And I think even he said something like, oh, I have been thinking about names like Anthony. I just threw a couple of curveballs in like mate, that's a pretty shit name. And my other mate looked at me like, what the fuck? And anyway, so he goes to his girlfriend at the time. She blindfolds him, drives him around, takes him to the spot. And we're at the location, obviously. And he gets there and we're like, surprise! And he's like, oh, wow, what the hell? And my other mate like, my other mate's like, she's not really pregnant. And like, he's still shocked. Like, he's still trying to take in the fact that it's a surprise party, all his family's there. And he's just like, yeah, it was all right. And he was so shocked. It's like the surprise party was out of his mind. He's like, but
I told you, dude, shit.
He's like, wait, what do you mean? But everything we spoke about. And he's like, no, it was all right. It was all right. He just goes, but why? What do you mean? And then like he gets dragged away by the girlfriend to just be like, look, Uncle Ben's here. And he's looking at the whole time. He's like, he's getting dragged away with like this face of confusion, like, what the fuck? And I bet the girlfriend thought like, oh, he's in such surprise. But in reality, he was just so shocked. And, bro, at that point, he even said to us the next time we caught up, he's like, mate, I told my family what you guys did. They were not on board. He's like, they would still like, why would they do that? Oh, it was at the time hilarious.
Well, how else are we going to spend the whole day?
But the funniest part ever was the part where he's like, mate, look, next 3-4 hours, I'm with you. Let's not even talk about it. You're like, no, I think we should.
I have a gut feeling. I feel like I know who the mate was that did that too.
The blonde one, yeah.
Oh, just picturing their face of that, like just pure confusion. I walk in straight away, like,
bro, it's just shock.
Like, what? Yeah. Like, what just happened? Oh shit, that's good. Well, not good, but like it's good. That's a great story.
I mean, before we go, speaking of pranks, there's we're taking pranks too far. I actually went on a binge of Roman Atwood's old pranks.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, and one of them, I couldn't believe that it was a prank. And his girlfriend at the time got him back, but he pranked her by saying he cheated on it. Like that was the prank. So he sat her down and was like, I cheated on it. But she saw the camera. So then she said, I confess, like I've cheated on you too. And he was so in shock and he started hitting the wall. He's like, oh my fucking God. So the video worked out perfectly. But, mate, that's a hard prank. I've cheated on you.
Yeah, those ones never end well.
Oh, of course
never
not.
ever end well.
Of course not.
9 times out, how crazy is that though? That 9 times out of 10, I swear, whenever I watch those pranks, you always see the other person, admits that they've been doing it for, and it's just like, it was only a joke. It's like, oh no, it's a prank as well. I'm joking. I definitely wasn't planning on meeting up with Derek after this for dinner. Jesus. And some piping. Like, my TikTok page actually, so to say on this, right? My TikTok page is so much else like, remember rule 5. It's like, don't fall in love, because if you fall in love, you're going to get like screwed over anyways. Oh. And it's just like all these people getting cheated on, and it's just like, why is my TikTok showing me this?
Yeah, you need to go non-interested, because the minute you watch a couple of them, they're just going to be on your page.
I was just like, Jesus. And I was like, this is such a bad headspace. Like, for anyone, like, for me, I'm just like, look, if that was to happen to me, like, that'd be shit, but like, whatever. But I'm like, how many people are in there who maybe are like new in a relationship, or their relationship's on the rock, and their For You page is that, and then they're in their own head being like, that's it. Like, so, I'm like, this is such a bad thing to just have it like the tip of your fingers.
Yeah. I wonder how many people look back on relationships that, like, for example, I met someone the other day, and he's like, he had been in 3 marriages, right? I was like, geez, the other one only ended like, I think a year ago or 2 years ago. And he showed me he actually got a photo to show me the recent one. And I think, it was because she was 30 years younger than him. And she was after me from 15. I'm like, oh, don't tell me this shit. Then 17, and then he goes, so I said, come back to me when I'm 21. And part of me, like, while I'm just looking at him in this serious like meeting, I just want to go, do you pre-order it? And then I was like, nah, that's
build a missus. Sure, build him there.
She met him when she was 21 on her birthday. Came up to him, was like, it's my birthday, I'm 21. And then they got together. And I was like, I don't want to call it romantic. Anyway, so he showed me a photo, and he looked like her dad in this photo.
That's
and
so bad.
And I was like, what the fuck? He's like, we only recently ended. I broke it off with her. It's just too much. I was like, oh, mate, fuck, you know. But anyway, sorry. What I mean is, like, people looking back on their relationships and going, fuck, that second relationship, Jesus, she was a winner. After dealing with like another 6 people who are horrible, fuck, I should have kept with number 2. Like, she was so good.
You just remind me so much of Shrek with Lord Farquaad, how it's just like, I want number 3. It's like Princess Fiona. He's like picking all the princesses. Yeah, you would though. There'd definitely be people out there who are like, oh no, why'd I get rid of Linda? Can't stand
Beverly.
Thank you. I was thinking of a B name.
Were you?
Yeah, I was going to say Belinda.
Oh, I feel like we're on the same level. A number between 1 and 20. Ready? 3, 2, 1. 17.
Oh! No way.
A number between 1 and 50. Last chance. Ready? 3, 2, 1. 23.
Oh!
What is this wave we're on? We're wrong.
What's going on?
All right.
Oh, wow.
A number between 1 and 100. If we get it right, we have to kiss. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
69. Oh. I thought for sure that'd be the number.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Morokai. I'll see you next one.
Boom.
Boom.